Morning, everyone. Their scheduled Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for Wednesday, June 18th. Get a roll call of members, please.
Maryland,
Here.
Betsy Barnes,
Here.
Bob Clemens,
Here.
Jim Crook, Bill Gomez, present or present, Mayor.
Okay, so we do have a quorum today. First on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the prior meeting, which was held on Wednesday, June 4th.
I'll second.
I have a motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. No new items to add for today. So we'll move on to special recognition. Remember last month, our last meeting, we deferred the employee of the month to this meeting to make sure that the recipient could be in attendance. And he is, plus one or a few. So Quinn, you want to come on up? Of course you can. So those of you that may be watching that doesn't know Quinn, so Quinn's been with us for 14 years already. Officially building maintenance, so Quinn takes care of our building, upstairs, downstairs, police department, that building, and that's the easy part. So he's one of those that is getting pulled and called and called a lot between myself and city or the mayor staff on things that pop up, right? You take care of this or that. So always gets it done, always responsive. You're actually nominated by, this is Jeannie back there, nominated by city court, because in addition to all that, there's been a lot of work and remodeling done inside of the city court building, which Quinn has done. It's really good, so he's done a fantastic job inside that building. An employee that gets pulled in a lot of different directions, I don't know how you do it, but you always get everything covered. So very well deserved. Thank you for the nomination for city court. So congratulations. Well deserved. Cup. Cards. Anything you want to say?
I appreciate it. I don't do it for recognition.
Yeah. Very good. Okay.
Need a photo.
Need a photo.
Do you want to be in the photo or help me take the photo, maybe? Or help me take it?
Thinking about it. Nope. All right.
All right.
Good night. Good night.
Maybe because you're holding her, you want to put down those things. Yeah. Everybody look at me, big smiles. 1, 2, 3. Oh, smile. Okay, I'm all set.
All right. Congratulations.
Okay, nothing under presentations.
Our old deferred business, our utility updates. Al, good morning.
Morning.
Well, I come today with good news. Our SRF draft rankings are out, and Crown Point is number 1 and number 4 on the ranking list. Number 1 is for the downtown interceptor, which is already funded, obviously. So when we close on it for the prior fiscal year, then we'll move up to number 3 on the list. Now, the list is draft. Last year, the top 6 got preferred financing. So we anticipate receiving preferred financing, which means whatever the going interest rate is now, we can reduce the first 20 or 25 million to 2.5 or 2%. So it's a significant savings to us on the project.
So when you say number 1, you're talking all the applications and projects submitted across the state.
Yes.
And our project was ranked the highest, number 1.
Yep. So the state definitely recognizes the need for the project, even if your neighbors don't.
Well done. Well done.
Well done to everybody. We also are on the funding list for the lead service lines. We were low on the list last time, we're low this time. But they funded everybody last time. The reason we're low is because we don't have any distressed areas. So they allocate the funding because it's grant to the distressed areas. And those distressed areas typically receive a 2.5 million grant and 2.5 million zero interest loan over 35 years. If everything goes the same as it did last year, we'll receive a 5 million low interest rate loan over 30 or zero interest loan over 35 years. So the stars are aligning. With that, I'll start with the updates on the utilities. Our water project phase 4, which was use of remaining funds. The change order work is in process right now. So we do have an invoice. It's SRF disbursement number 43 in the amount of $9,807. That's part of the project financing. And I'd like to request the board approve mayor's signature on that disbursement request.
Thanks, Al. So bring this to the board on Al's request disbursement number 43.
So moved, Mayor. As presented.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
The new 24-inch water supply line, you recall that that is going to be part of the wastewater treatment plant project that just got funded. And that project, we're awaiting modification, confirmation of modification of our route. I think we're very close. Alex and I have had conversations. Alex has coordinated with the property owner, and I think we'll be able to bring this to a close here in the next few weeks and move forward. Our lead service line replacement project, that project bid was awarded. Closing date is June 30th. What we typically do is we schedule pre-construction meetings on the date of closing or shortly thereafter. We have the city sign all the contracts, issue the bonds for that date, notice to proceed to the contractor, all the paperwork. So we do anticipate scheduling that meeting for June 30th. And we'll get the contractor going on the lead service line replacement work. Our wastewater utility improvements project out at the existing plant. Again, it's done. We had some change order work that we were awaiting materials. One of them was the replacement of the skylights. And so those skylights are in. They've made some warranty repair work, and that will obviously impact release of retainage, but no release requested today. We are working on the controls for the system to make sure the gates are opening and shutting in the right sequence. There's going to be some minor programming that needs to be done to optimize controls. So you most likely will see a change order for that programming. It will be within the funds that we have available on the project though. Any questions on your wastewater treatment plant project?
We'll be on schedule.
Well, we're done. I mean, it's running, so we're just kind of tweaking things now. So
So we're looking pretty good.
we're ready to move forward with our interceptor. So speaking of interceptor, next project is the downtown interceptor. We notified Atlas Excavating that they were the apparent low. When we close, we intend on issuing contracts, notice of award, notice to proceed with Atlas. That's looking to occur on June 30th as well, to coincide with the closing date. As part of that project, we incorporated a cost-saving bid item. So when the project went out to bid, I received calls from 2 contractors saying that they wouldn't be able to get the work done in 2 years' time if they could only work at one location at a time. So I put a mandatory alternate bid in that said, assume you can start at one location and then you can start at the middle and you can work 2 crews. And asked how much credit they would give us, because if they couldn't get it done in time, they would have to be charged liquidated damages, so they would be penalized. So that was going to be built into their bid. We received a $3 million credit from Atlas Excavating to allow them to work at 2 locations. We met with the contractor. We received all the assurances that we needed to allow that to occur. Commonwealth's original budget was for one senior inspector and one junior inspector over 2 years' time, which is the project. It's on an hourly as incurred basis. So you don't write a check for it. It's just however many hours we're here. That's our budgeted funds for it. Now that we have 2 locations, I've talked with the mayor's office and the utility on how to modify the staffing. So I'm looking to remove the junior RPR, add a second senior RPR to the second location, and then add a construction coordinator on site. And the reason I want to do this is because I need a senior to observe the work. It's very difficult, high-risk work. And I want the construction coordinator on site so that they can make sure that we're getting things done in a uniform fashion at the 2 sites. We don't want one inspector doing one thing, one inspector doing the other. We want a uniform approach. So in deducting the cost of the junior inspector, adding the cost of the senior inspector, and adding the cost of the construction manager for 2 years, there's a budgetary impact of $960,000. So you're saving $3 million. You're going to have to pay $960 more on an hourly basis from a budget standpoint. So the net savings is $2 million. But I put together the task order today for consideration and execution. All the contracts need to be provided to SRF before we close to justify what we're borrowing. Are there any questions on that modification in staffing, the cost of the change order, mechanism of payment that I can answer?
Yeah, I was just going to reiterate, we had a lot of discussions on this about, as Al said, us starting in 2 different locations, because even with 2, it's a 2-year project, anticipated 2-year project.
Yep.
So we can start at 2 different locations at the same time, saves the city $3 million. And then, as Al said, but it's a pretty expansive project, so we want to make sure, Al, and we have the right inspectors to make sure everything goes as seamless as possible on the construction itself, but also the liaison between with the residents there and how it's going to be affected. Communication's key to keeping the residents that are on those streets. This is what's going on. Here's what you're going to be seeing, all that kind of stuff. Super, super important. So it's worth the little extra added expenses on this side to have 2 crews at the same time, saving us $3 million. So we wanted Al here to present it, and he wasn't able to come last meeting, but we wanted him to be here to present it to the board and answer any questions that you may have. So go ahead, Bob.
I know you're familiar with it.
Yes.
And it seems like you do agree with that. You answered some things I was going to ask you. Is this not uncommon to do in projects like this, Al?
I'm very risk adverse, so I only wanted 1 crew at a time to minimize the disruption in the community. And when you lay a sewer, you lay it from the low point to the high point. So if you start in the middle, if they screw up down here, you end up having a belly.
Yes, sir.
I identified a location though where they could start where we had a 5-foot drop. So at one location, we have shallower sewer into a manhole. It drops 5 feet and then we can continue. So I'm having the 1 crew come up to that drop and the other crew starting 5 foot higher. So the risk is minimized by allowing this. The disruption issue is you'll have 2 active construction sites versus 1, but we're going to be tearing up everything anyway. So we'll just have to have 2 areas of traffic control versus 1 area of traffic control. So in the scheme of things, it's a prudent approach because they can't get the other project, they can't get it done the other way unless they get 3.5 years, is what they told me.
Yeah, I understand.
And I know we've asked this before, but is there a projected start date for the project?
Right now, the contractor has asked for permission to proceed at his own risk. in some of the coordination that's required. So the coordination is I'm making the contractor go out and confirm elevations with survey tools and acquire a subsurface utility excavation firm to locate everything under the ground. That way, if they run into something that's unknown, the risk isn't on the city, the risk is on the contractor because he's confirmed this, provided us this information before he started to build. That has begun, that planning has begun. The project official notice to proceed, notice of award date will be the 30th. I anticipate that confirmation work to take 60 days. So I don't expect to see shovels in the ground till August or September.
Sounds like a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's been planned on for last 2-3 years anyway down the road. So we need to take action as a task order 2025-04, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
You're asking for a motion to, will you say that again?
Yeah, well, just confirming it was the task order number I had was correct. Alex, legal good?
Yes.
Yeah, so Bob, that would be, we would need a motion to approve the task order
As
as presented, correct?
So move.
Okay, okay. So we have a motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. And historically, we don't spend all of the money on inspection and construction engineering. It's a budget, so we'll be good stewards of the funds. Moving on to the Southwest wastewater treatment plant design. We did provide value engineering items to the city. We're going to schedule a meeting hopefully for next week where we can review those items, make sure there's no concerns, incorporate the ones that are selected so that we can proceed and finalize the design for a project that's within our budgeted funds. On the collection system improvements projects, we continue to proceed with the design on one of 3 lift stations. We are progressing on the Delaware lift station site, and part of our utility reroute potentially impacts 129th Avenue lift station site. So those 2 have been paused until we resolve the land acquisition issues, and then we'll proceed with those. Any questions on your water or sewer utilities?
Nope. Nope.
Okay,
All right,
you.
thank you, Al. Moving on, new business. Number 1, request approval to renew solicitor's permit for Mr. Bowtie Ice Cream. Anybody here representing the petitioner? Good morning.
Morning.
You state your name and address. Then.
Dario Garcia, 11478 Georgia Street.
All right. Good morning.
Morning. Here to renew. Everything's basically stayed the same in the last 3 to 4 years that we've been operating here in Crown Point. We enjoy everybody here as a community. We've built a lot of relationships with good organizations. We were there a couple of weeks with the MAD organization. We work with number of churches in the area, Bethel, Living Hope Church. Anybody that's has like the same mindset that we do, serving others and providing a clean service. Like we've tried to keep up with all of our permits, all our restrictions. You know, we've had restrictions from the town. We respected them, and so far we've had no issues. The only thing that I do ask is we've gotten a lot of calls about another ice cream truck, and I've brought this up in previous meetings. In the last 3 years, I think I've got stopped twice at that, and they just asked me, "Oh, do you have a permit?" Yep. No proof shown, no nothing. And this other ice cream truck pretty much does the same thing. So I was going to suggest maybe I do get a solicitor's ID from Commander Balsi.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when they pull anybody over is ask for that ID, because anybody could Photoshop documents. We don't know. I've asked the food inspector, the Lake County food inspector, if there's any other that are registered, and they keep telling me no. And I was like, well, I keep getting phone calls from my customers that there's other ice cream truck running around, and
Yeah.
sometimes they make appointments with people like for events, and then they don't show up, and then last minute they're calling me, and it's kind of, I don't like to turn down people, especially because it's kids involved, so we know,
Yeah.
it's hard. So maybe if anything, if I had any suggestions, is maybe tighten up on figuring out, on
Yeah,
how
and
to-
have that when you go see Commander Valsi again, or the chief,
yeah.
that conversation with the specific
Mhm.
one that you're talking about. So,
Yep.
I mean, I see you all the time in my neighborhood, so I
Yep.
think by now, most of the residents are familiar with
Yep.
Mr. Bowtie, so. David, everything in order in
Couple
your,
things through your chair, if I may. Are you the only one that's gonna be listing and selling this time?
Yeah.
Cause it's just you on the permit, it's
Yeah,
different from before?
yeah.
Okay, and then are you gonna request a refund again this year? Halfway through the season?
A refund?
Did you request a refund the last couple years on your permit?
No.
Okay, all right, that's all I got. Everything's in order otherwise. Okay.
One other thing, if I
Yeah, sure.
to mention, we've respected the like rule that's been put on us to not go into the parks. I've had numerous moms just trying to hire us for their specific team, mainly at Junior Bulldogs Park. My son's played there 5 years. He kind of aged out already, but I still have those contacts. And what I've told them over and over, I was like, well, we're restricted from the parks.
Mhm.
So we can't go in there. But one mom made it a point. She's like, well, we hire people to come and cook for our team. What's the difference? You're coming, I'm hiring you as a service to come provide. It's not like we're driving to the park, soliciting, which is what.
yeah, my suggestion would be whoever those entities are that are trying to, see if you can do that, is have them reach out to Adam Graper at the Pace Department. Have them, not you, but have them make the request to Adam at the Pace. Pace is in charge of the sportsplex.
Okay,
So,
all right.
okay, so we'll bring this to the board on his request to renew his solicitor's permit. A motion to approve. We have a second
A second.
and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. You're all set.
Thank you.
Okay, yep. Number 2, request approval for signage to advertise the Crown Point Rotary Club Annual Blues, Brews, and Barbecue event. Anybody here representing the petitioner? No? Okay. It's we've all seen it. I don't know how many years they've been doing this, but more than one, many, many years, the event at the fairgrounds that they have
Yes.
every year. So they usually come before the board which we're appreciative of placing their signs again for the advertisement. So, just because they've been before us before, I wouldn't have a problem approving it. It's not a new request coming into the board, so. But I'll defer to the board what your pleasure is on it, so.
I'll second.
Okay, well, motion to approve in a second. Any further discussion on the motion?
It's a traditional, looks like.
It is, yeah, been doing it many years. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Number 3, request approval to hold 2 boot drives for the Crown Point High School Dance Team Booster Club.
It's me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, can you state your name and address?
I'm Karen Brown. My address is 2430 West 127th Avenue.
Okay, good morning, Karen.
Good morning. So I'm here today on behalf of the Crown Point Dance Team Booster Club. We are the fundraisers for the Crown Point High School Dance Team. And we're asking for 2 boot drives to raise funds. It costs a lot to go to nationals, and we are currently trying to defend with three-time national champions. We're looking for our fourth, and that would have 4 seniors would have gone all the way through with 4 national titles. So
Wow.
we are looking at the dates of Saturday, July 26th and Saturday, September 13th, with rain dates of Sunday, September 14th, or Saturday, September 20th.
Okay, you have an hour block that you guys are looking at?
We
Is it
usually do 9 to noon, I believe.
9 to noon? Okay. And then besides the kids, you guys are gonna be out there?
There will be no kids.
Okay.
I did touch base with the athletic director because we'd been told that they're not allowed to be out, and that's correct. So it'll be parents.
Okay, all right. We'll bring this to the board. I think great idea. Anything we can do to help,
Thank you.
I'll be in favor of. But board have any questions or action?
So
I'll second. We have a motion to approve the request and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. You're all set.
Thank you. We
All right,
appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Karen. Yep. Number 4, request approval to add buy down plan and separating health and dental plans. Karen Marvin.
Yes, I would like to defer to the next meeting.
Okay. So we need a motion to defer this
so moved.
HR's request. Motion for deferral. We have a second
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, July 9th.
July 9th.
Number 5, request approval for annual DARE golf outing contract with Yuki Country Club. Chief?
Thanks, Mayor. Yes, August 18th, Monday, we'll be having our golf outing. Came up with a contract last week. I sent over the legal, everything looks the same as what it was last year.
Okay, thanks, Chief. Alex, legal good?
No changes and looks good to proceed on.
We'll bring this to the board for questions of the chief or action.
So moved, Mayor.
I'll second. A motion to approve the contract and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, chief. Number 6, request approval to add Just Barracuda Cloud Control System. Art?
Good morning. I am seeking the board's approval to proceed with a purchase in adding an additional application to one of our cybersecurity tools. We currently have a 5-year contract with this vendor. It was started in 2021 and expires in October of 2026. It provides several important security tools that are critical to what we do, and this would just be, there's actually 3 parts to this. One of them is increasing the licenses of an application that we currently use, and the other 2 are brand new, but it would fix a critical hole that we currently have in our cybersecurity architecture.
So with this, our existing Barracuda agreement goes through 2026?
Correct. This will
Does this
just
start
add
right
on.
away?
It'll start right away and expire with those in 2026.
Okay,
And then we can renew them all.
as a package.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we'll bring this to the board for questions of Bartford.
So moved, Mayor.
All right, we have a motion to approve
A second.
request and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Bart. Number 7, request approval of PACE fee schedule update. You doing this one too, Bart?
I'm doing this.
Oh, Jenny? Morning.
I believe everybody has, excuse me, a packet. We just, as we've done several years in a row and a couple times a year, we just review in-house all the updated fees, and everything for all the rentals and different activities and ticket sales and all that stuff throughout, the PACE system. So what you see in front of you is just that, just looking for approval to, I don't believe there have been any changes. We're just re-upping everything for the current year like we do to make sure we're in compliance with state board accounts.
Okay, so that was gonna be my question, if we made any changes, but I don't, yeah, I agree with that, I don't think we have.
I don't believe there have been any changes.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Jenny. Bring it to the board.
So move.
A second. We have a motion to approve fee schedule and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Number 8, request approval to remove inventory items.
Yes, so there should be a spreadsheet in your guys' packets containing a list of 36 or so IT-related items from HIDA. They are currently looking to go ahead and recycle these unused. They're just, it's old, unused junk from the past.
Okay, is this something that the city helps them to dispose of, or do they do that on their own? And just notify?
I've been involved in one kind of HIDA purge in the past. I don't remember how it was initiated. I know we loaded up a van full of their stuff and helped them take it to the recycling.
Okay. All right, so the request is just through HIDA to remove that inventory items list.
That's correct.
All right, okay. Okay, we'll bring this to the board then for
So move.
motion to approve the removals. We have a second
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Number 9, request approval of first annual all-class reunion. And further discussions with Adam after it was put on the agenda. There's no action needed by the Board of Works. I think he wanted to just make the board aware of what's being planned. Any agreements are being handled like through Bulldog Park that we normally do, the hiring of the band and so forth. So there's no action. Through Adam and a whole bunch of people involved in this. This applies, and all alumni high school reunion, Crown Point. We're having one big reunion Saturday, August 2nd at Bulldog Park. So regardless of the year you graduated, everybody's invited to attend this reunion. First time we've had it like this, so we're going to try it and see how it works. So again, no action needed, but it was on the agenda and thought we'd just leave it on there. It couldn't hurt. So it applies to you. August 2nd, Bulldog Park. Got to get a ticket. Even you, Bob. Even you, yeah.
Holy cow. I think everybody's gone by now. That knows me.
Number 10, request approval of Drive Clean Indiana donation agreement. Jenny?
Thank you. We are having some issues with the software on the current charging stations, the EV stations in the city. Trying to work through those. We have the opportunity to change out the charging stations to Tesla stations that we think we won't have the software issues that we're currently having. So this agreement is to simply just take possession. They're donating them. Drive Clean Indiana is donating the charging stations to us, and we will be able to in-house switch those chargers out. They did work with Alex to review the contract. I believe we have no concerns or issues with just taking.
Okay. Alex? Okay. And the current ones are at both the city hall and the sportsplex?
That's correct.
Okay. What do we do with the current ones? Do
We will work with Drive Clean Indiana to return them to their, so the original agreement, we had a couple of years agreement, so we're hoping to get a refund back for the time we didn't use with the current station. So as opposed to this, that happens, so we'll remove them and then get them back to Drive. To return them.
Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, thanks, Jenny. Well, I'll bring this to the board for questions of Jenny or action.
So moved.
Motion to approve. I'll second. The donation and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Jenny. Number 11, request approval to amend on-call agreement with American Structure Point. Greg?
Thank you, Mayor. This is amendment to the original general service agreement that was approved in February 2023. Various city departments utilize American Structure Point for surveying, engineering, and application needs. Products or details are part of that, so all the same rates.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Alex?
No concern there. Structure points that partner with the city, and I would recommend approval on it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, definitely. They've been very good to the city, great working relationship, so. Bring this to the board for, okay, we have a motion to approve the agreement. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thanks, Greg. Number 12, request approval to extend the 2024 contract for crack sealing. Doug?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, we have an opportunity to extend our contract with our crack sealing. We did it last year, National Industrial Maintenance. They're willing to extend their contract, keep the same pricing at $2.19 per pound. We did reach out to 3 competitors just to see that they're in line. We had 1 response. They came in almost $1 more. So we did our due diligence on that. We just request board's approval to extend the contract into 2025.
Okay. Thanks, Doug. Alex?
Yeah, Mayor, work with Doug, same contract as last year, no substantive changes to it. So I recommend approval.
All right, we'll bring this one to the board as well.
So
I'll second. A motion to approve the contract. We have a second and a second, I'm sorry. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Number 13, request approval to purchase a 2023 John Deere mower. Terry Score.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. I come before you to purchase, for permission to purchase a 2023 John Deere diesel commercial Z-Track mower for wastewater treatment plant. We're currently trading in one of the units. It's virtually, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they gave us $1,200 for it. They're going to treat this as a brand new mower. We'll get all the benefits as if it was brand new, and almost $8,000 worth of savings on this.
Who's the vendor making the purchase from?
It is Gastonia, right here in town.
Okay, I like that. Okay, we'll bring this to the board then for questions of Terry or action.
so moved.
Now, we do another discussion. Bob, I'm sorry, was that a motion to approve?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion? You know, you have a funding source identified for it,
Yes.
Terry.
Okay.
Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you,
Terry.
Board.
Miscellaneous. I think we got Chris Pappas. Chris, as you know, is business on the Square Vervetio had a bit of a fire, so the city's been in communication with Chris on anything the city can do to help him during this time that he's going through. So kind of came up with an idea, and I thought Chris could present it to the board, and he knows the city's here to help. So, Chris?
Yep, thanks for your time. Just coming to present an opportunity. Provincial employs over 60 people here. And it doesn't look like we're going to be underway anytime soon. Investigators are still doing their fire investigation. So my thought is I don't want to lose the staff that we currently have. So we've coming up with a game plan of potentially using the food truck that we do for the festivals and things like that, parking it out front of the restaurant Thursday through Sunday, 4 to 9 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then do brunch from 10 to 3 on Sunday. Serving the guests on the patio, using our servers to take those orders, serve them on the patio, having a mobile bar outside, serving them cocktails, limited style, but we're going to brand it separately. So it's a separately branded thing. So people aren't expecting Provecho, but it'll be Provecho Summer branded. Just trying to keep the staff going, and I just seeking approval to park that truck out front, blocking off a couple spaces on those days right in front of the restaurant. Just to kind of keep everybody going. We do have plans on propping up in the courthouse in Ramen District on Mondays and Tuesdays to kind of keep that staff going too. But just trying to limp along here while we figure out the next course of action from insurance and restoration. So it looks like it's going to be anywhere between 60, 90 days. I'm hoping it's sooner, but I'm at the mercy of these investigators. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, just seeking approval for that. Obviously, weather permitting, festival permitting, if the truck's already going to be situated elsewhere, we'll make sure that's advertised. But just trying to seek approval for that.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Alex, legal have any?
Yeah, I mean, it's a temporary scenario, and I think this is what communities do. I mean, he's in a pinch and needs some help, and I think it's a good opportunity for the board to give Chris a hand and see if he can continue to operate.
I agree. So we'll bring it to the board for questions of Chris or any action. Obviously, anything we can do to help a business, especially one as good as Chris's, we should choose.
I don't have any problem with it.
Okay.
So
So we need a motion to approve the use and parking of the food truck.
I'll second it.
In the public right away.
In the public right away.
public right away.
Okay. Is that your motion, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Outside.
Thanks for your time.
Yes. Okay.
Does our Mr. Bryce here, do we have our budgets, not the budget, but have our road schedule for what we're paving?
Streets identified. Yeah, in fact, Anthony has a copy of that. Before you leave today, we'll get you your copies. So
I'd like to have one.
you know exactly what
Yeah,
roads are.
people ask me.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so our next regular meeting will be on Wednesday, July 9th at 11 a.m. and need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, second,
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye. Aye.